What is going on, everybody? You are in for a treat today. So if you are tuning in, we are here today with Erik. We're talking all DragonX. We're talking build on DragonX. We're going to be talking about, the DragonX Vault and so many other cool things and possibly some potential new projects. But we're going to see. There's a whole bunch we're going to talk about, but we have the man on the stream, Erik, with us right now. So let's get started. All right, everybody. I am still bad at this program, but I'm going to figure it out. There we go. All right. We are here with Erik, the founder of, hold on. Can't unmute the guest because okay, go ahead and unmute yourself. Erik, you're on.
Yeah. Hey,
there you go.
I just shared it out on my YouTube. I think I actually needed to stream to a different destination. So some folks might need to go check my channel.
Oh, cool. Yeah, actually it's showing up that you're streaming on your YouTube and X. Awesome. Awesome. On your YouTube and X. Awesome. Awesome. Man, we have a delay here, guys. And I'm hearing an echo. So let me know if you guys hear echo, or if it sounds good to all of you guys.
Okay, so I just shared out a few links because I needed to change the streaming link for everybody. So that's in the DragonX chat now.
Oh, okay. Great.
So, yeah, I'm just messaging folks in the chat, letting them know.
Sweet. We got
cool. We can jump into it. Sorry about that.
Pulse X Mafia is here. What's going on? We got Dazzle here. What's going on, Dazzle? We got 17 people. You guys are the smartest 17 people right now because you're here in this chat. So let's get started. Erik, how are you doing?
Doing good. I've been very busy. I'm happy to be on all these live streams, though. That's really good.
You have been busy. You know, I love it. I love seeing you out there more. You got such a great presence. You got such a great project, and you got a lot to say. And that's why I'm really excited to have this stream with you today. So let's get started with the one thing well, there's a whole bunch of things I want to know, but I just want to talk about how freaking epic DragonX is doing right now and what just happened. Like literally, and you know what? The whole market is fairly stagnant, but somehow TitanX ecosystem and DragonX and baby DragonX, goodness gracious, is like literally blasting off. Let's just look here at TitanX Hub real quick. So guys, if you don't know TitanX Hub, go to titanxhub.com by Mike Dean. It's a great resource. But look, we got all the prices listed here. We got TitanX 6042, which is actually real strong. It's showing like super strong comparatively over this. Actually, when you really look at this, it's like boom, that's just a nice up. And it's not really showing like it's slowing down. But see, you are leveraged, or DragonX is leveraged on TitanX, and then BDX is leveraged on DragonX. So look at this. We got a 6 zeros and a 4-2, and DragonX right now is 5 zeros and a 28. And everybody that's on this stream probably already knows this because they're just as excited as me. But let's get down here to baby DragonX. We got 5 zeros and a 4-6. This is actually, like the leverage, because I think, anyways, what's going on, Erik?
Well, I think it started with the 280 not being what people thought it would be. A lot of people probably thought that it was going to dump really hard, but I had a feeling that it wouldn't, just because the volume was so low and people were basically like already washed out. You know, if you look at the amount of penalties that have gone up on TitanX, you can see a lot of people have just given up on their miners. So, yeah, I think the capitulation was over at that point, and there wasn't enough interest in selling at that point because a lot of people were just down already so much, or they were true believers. So you had the opposite effect where basically the 280 became a bullish event because now that the biggest inflation is over. You know, so that some big whales came in and kind of pumped the price on that news.
Wow.
And then, I followed up with a stream with Mike Dean. That was our celebratory stream, a 4-hour stream. I was trying to give people like the Richard Hart experience of having a founder who's there and just like doing a long stream where everyone's questions are answered. And I think that kind of got people reinterested in DragonX and all the things we're building. I also talked about a new protocol that we're building on DragonX in that stream.
Oh, well, you want to quickly, okay, we could talk about that now or later. Yeah, what is that? Let's talk about that real quick.
Yeah, sure. So basically Jake and I are building a new protocol similar to Hyper, but it's even more finely tuned for long-term compounding. So there'll be even fewer rewards for people in the beginning relative to other people. And that gives people a chance to re-enter and compound their returns over time. The cool thing about it will be that it is bonded with DragonX. So you get the price appreciation of DragonX with the compounding effect. So as DragonX goes up, this token will go up. The mining ROI will go up on it, which will bring more people in. And what's cool about it is rather than just burning the TitanX, the TitanX will go into the DragonX vault. So when the TitanX goes into the DragonX vault, it increases the payouts for DragonX while burning TitanX. So the benefit there is that DragonX gets more Ethereum to pump itself with, whilst also burning TitanX and giving more Ethereum to pump TitanX in the future. So you get all these benefits by building on the DragonX vault. And this mining protocol will also buy and burn DragonX off the market. So in addition to burning the TitanX, a portion of the TitanX, it will also buy and burn with 20% DragonX. So that's a lot more economic energy. And something I've said on other streams is like part of how speculation works is that you need opacity for people to for there to be like an inefficiency, right? So that people can feel like there's a boundless future to it, to a project. If all the variables are known up front, then it will be priced in, and the speculative nature of the asset will go away. So what we did when we introduced this thing is all the people that were basing their DragonX investment decisions off of the set payouts, off of the 369 payouts and the AAA payout, were suddenly hit with this new narrative and this new burner, right? So now this new DragonX burner comes in, and people have no idea how much DragonX this thing can burn. It could be huge because it's being launched into the early stages of the bull market. And following that on with marketing just makes it even more bullish, right? Because now we know that there'll be more people to participate than were participating before, and that's growing.
Wow. So what is the fuel source for this mining protocol? Is it TitanX or is it
Yes.
DragonX?
It's TitanX.
Got it. So Liquid TitanX
it's
this protocol, and then this protocol will mine similar to Hyper, but on DragonX.
Right. So it will mine, but instead of using Ethereum, it uses TitanX because we have all of these people who have TitanX, right? And so that brings new economic energy into the project. And so basically, like you bring all this new TitanX comes into DragonX and buys and burns it off the market, right? And the benefit of that is like people can do something with their TitanX now. And there's only one project right now that's taking TitanX, right? It's Inferno.
Well, there's two. HLX. We could utilize our TitanX.
Yes.
Also, we have Inferno right now. So, yeah, you're right. That I do actually like. I do kind of think of TitanX as a fuel source, really, for these other protocols. Like, I like holding it to utilize it personally. But there's really not a lot of. I mean, there's only a couple things to utilize it on. So yeah, I love the fact that we're able to input TitanX for this protocol. That's very
yeah. And I feel we need a killer app. I mean, X20, it's going to be awesome. I'm sure that will do a lot of work too. But the thing about us is in the DragonX side, we want to have an app that we can market, that we can go out there and promote. Right? Because we want to be able to hit different narratives with this. Yeah. So in order to do that, I think this really helps us do our job on the DragonX side,
Yeah. So are there I know you're kind of not real. I mean, I guess maybe it's a DragonX piece, but you personally, it kind of feels like you don't really vibe with staking too much. Is there going to be staking in this new platform?
There will be no staking.
Nice. So because it's a long-term compounding. The idea is long-term and compounding. And when we are compounding, we're compounding. Are we compounding a new token that's bonded with TitanX,
Yes.
or is it bonded with DragonX?
It's bonded with DragonX. Yes.
With DragonX. Cool.
It was DragonX. So like think about baby DragonX, right?
We use TitanX as fuel
It's
for a project that's bonded with DragonX, which is actually what we did when we minted DragonX. It's also what we did when we minted baby DragonX. We used TitanX, because I thought we were going to be using DragonX to mint the baby DragonX before it came out, but it was like, no, that we used the TitanX to mint baby DragonX, and it's bonded with DragonX. So kind of a similar path.
Yeah. So you're going to get the price, like, so you saw that baby DragonX, it just kind of hitchhikes on the back of DragonX, and it increases, the price appreciation is there with it. So it's bonded to it. So it'll be like baby DragonX in terms of price appreciation, but you'll be able to mine it. Think of it that way. So you can get more of it. You just need to bring your TitanX in.
Oh man, I love that.
Yeah. And there'll be a really big buy and burn because there's no staking rewards. So we can just focus on keeping that miner ROI high, right? So you have a big buy and burn because there's no staking rewards, and you have also the bonding with DragonX. Plus you have the buying on DragonX, and you have the submission to the DragonX vault. So in my opinion, like, I feel like we're arriving at something that is just really good from a DeFi and like token economic perspective. This 3-token model, or you could say 2-token model with an input, which is TitanX, it's so good because, like, I think back to the early days of Hex, and basically you have 1 token, right? So the inflation and the compounding is what brings the adoption. But if you are inflating the same token that you're trying to store your money in, then it's going to get dumped a lot, right? And so you're fighting this battle where you need these huge waves of adoption to come in to consume all of that inflation. But with DragonX bonded to this other token, you get the store of value and you also get the compounding, but they're distinct. So it doesn't actually dilute the DragonX holders. It just makes their position, and it also makes the position of this token stronger. So, I mean, I think honestly, like, the token economics it really rivals Hex in terms of the token economics. It's just a matter of getting people in now. You know, like, what caused Hex to go down so much? It was all that inflation. It was those early people who had these enormous positions, and basically they could never be shaken up because they could just restake. And there were referral bonuses, early adopter bonuses. You know, people were going to the AA lobby when it was super cheap, and it just became this massive wall of inflation that was super hard to overcome. DragonX doesn't have that. When someone sells, they have to buy back to get back in, right? So that's really big for DragonX. Like, when I see people sell, I'm happy. You know, I see people emptying big bags, and they're completely out. You know, it makes it so much easier for the price to go up.
Yeah, that's a really good point. Because you can't get any more.
The other thing about DragonX is that it's starting at a very low. There's a very low base. Like, the reason why I called this the 10X stream on my channel is because the first 8 weeks of Hex, they did a 10X. The first 10X was after 8 weeks, roughly. There were 20,000 users in Hex at the time. So it gives you a sense for just the liquidity was so low. I think the liquidity was really well done. Credit to, I'm patting myself on the back. But the fact of the matter is, like, you can get these big returns in the early stages with such a few people because liquidity was really well balanced with the number of users. And that is partly also because the liquidity was fed by users who submitted tokens during the mint phase. So the liquidity was proportionate to the users that were actually in the token, right? As opposed to, say, a big third party or a whale or an OA providing liquidity and kind of just guessing it in a sense, right? So the liquidity was so low, and so we were getting these huge price appreciation, but we only had like a few hundred extra people come in. So if it just took our users to wake back up to do a 10x, and now the base is still so small. 1,600 people is nothing. I mean, there are meme coins that have tens of thousands of users, like in a few weeks.
Wow, I got you. You know, you have, I guess, the first season that anybody gets into crypto, we're just so excited. We're in this season, and then we get in, and then we just learn a crap ton of lessons and pay all this tuition that we didn't expect to pay. And you know, then once we pay our actual experience tuition, which is usually in the form of actual money, then we go through another cycle. Now we go through the bottom of the cycle after we run to that top, because I did this. The only way we could learn about any of this and why it works and how it works is because you've been through this with Hex, and you had skin in the game. When you got skin in the game, now you can actually, over a couple cycles, now you can be a builder that has something to build. And this is why I really like what you're doing, just your approach on everything. It's very deliberate and precise. And that is something that I really appreciate about you in particular, and the things that you build. There's no question in your mind why you're building something when you launch it. So when you launch it, it's like, this is why we did it. And I'm okay if you guys don't agree with that, but this is what I did, and this is why I did it. And actually, you kind of have some, Jake too, but you guys have some revolutionary views on, some of this stuff. And I mean, obviously, when I read TitanX white paper, I was in, because of the hyperinflation going to hyper deflation. I like the long-term aspect of things. I want to compound my money. I don't want it to just sit there. I got other cryptos that are just sitting there. It's like, why is my money just sitting here doing absolutely nothing? And so, so anyways, that's why I like TitanX. Now, it's super experimental, risky project, this whole ecosystem but the big concept of it is solid. And then on top of this TitanX model, you bring DragonX, which is now completely capped. And not only is it capped, there's inputs. There's inputs from the staking in TitanX, which is like crazy. And not only that, there's other projects building on DragonX. So really, this flywheel is like, there's little weights on the end of a whole bunch of different flywheels. And as one, they're just like, it's going to be very fun to see. This is why, if we're in a little bit on every project in the TitanX ecosystem, I don't think it hurts. Now, not financial advice, but like, do your own research. This is really risky, but
the problem with that,
go ahead.
The problem with that is that you do expose yourself to contract risk. So if you spread yourself too thin, it's not risk free. It's not risk free to diversify in crypto, because you have team and contract risk that you're taking on every single time you invest in a token, right? So you have to, yes, things are bonded to TitanX, they're bonded to DragonX, but you also need to have team execution, right? Otherwise, there'll never be enough liquidity. There'll never be really enough users to generate any volume that could bring the price up. So
yeah, for sure, definitely.
And there are contracts, people get hacked, right? Like if a founder isn't showing their face, I don't think that's a good sign. And so, yeah, you do need to be careful. Like if you're just nibbling at a bunch of tokens that are all correlated, it's like, I don't know if that helps you that much, because you're basically just getting similar returns with more contract risk. So I think it would be better if people just took like an 80-20 approach, like TitanX 80, and then like maybe try other tokens with that, or DragonX 80% and other things, the other 20%, right?
What's up, the verse? We got the verse on the stream right now. Thanks for joining us.
Okay.
But yes, DragonX.
I have to stream then.
What's up?
Yeah, I got to stream with the verse. It's been a bit.
Nice. Thank you, brother. It's good to hear from you. Good to meet you in these chats. The verse, you do great work, brother. So yeah, okay, cool. I love all of this because it just makes I'm learning a lot. Like this is my school too. Like I get to talk to you, and man, you have a lot of really amazing. But see, not only are you saying cool stuff, it's actually literally all working. It's all working. Like it's there's green candles happening from what's going on right now. Now, I mean, obviously, you're part of a system, you're part of a flywheel, but I think you're part of the flywheel. There's a little bit of afterburner juice in it.
Yeah. Yeah, because we learned all lessons from the last bull market, right? So I was able to apply that to this token. And the way I think about DragonX is we're incubated inside TitanX. And this is these are the first revenue streams, right, that are growing DragonX, but it could expand beyond that. I think I'm hoping to have it be the kind of thing where people are coming in knowing first about DragonX,
Mm-hmm.
And I think other projects should take the same approach, because you don't want to have a situation where you have a lot of founders who are just piggybacking and they're not really doing the hard work or bringing in new users.
I guess we're
every
not
project should consider themselves to be
channel. Mackenzie just let us know we're not live on DragonX YouTube channel, but it says we
not
are
live on DragonX.
It says we are up here on top. Thanks, Mackenzie, for letting us
I think
know.
the original video I think is not live, but if you go to the current live, let me take a look right now.
Cool. We just want to make sure. Dazzle, 100% DragonX allocation. She's all in. We got some all ins too.
Yeah, so it is live, but it's not the one that I had given to you guys. I didn't realize that I couldn't stream to that particular input on YouTube. I needed to create a new stream when I entered into your StreamYard, which I was a bit confused about. But
I haven't been a guest on any of these.
So if you go and check the channel on the live, you'll see it.
Cool.
Yeah.
Hey, what's this?
But no, the point I was making is just
that I'm hearing these Chad things going around. So am I missing something? What's Chad? Is Chad's kind of like, based, or is it kind of a new like what's Chad? Tell me what Chad is.
You don't know Chad?
I guess I don't know Chad. I'm out of the loop, man.
Oh man. Dude, I don't know if this is the place to explain that. Search Chad versus Virgin. See, because like the Chad is like the high school, star of the football team.
Okay.
And then Virgin is like this dork. You have to look at that, because like then you have Chad this, Virgin that.
Chad around,
you have to look at that.
Okay, I'll check it out. But anyways, okay. All right. So
I am trying to explain Chad to you, man.
Oh, sorry. Well, you know what? Hey, I guess I'm out of the loop. Hey, we got 196 people on this stream. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining. Wow. What's up, Rusty?
That's good.
And so here's what I want to kind of talk about next. Is I want to talk about the hybrid, and I want to talk about what is OTC. I mean, I know.
Can I finish my point?
Like, how are we going to trade these things? Go ahead.
Can I finish my point first?
Oh, of course. Yeah.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, like, about the other founders. Hey, Jake. About the other founders, like, guys, yeah, I think it's incumbent on other founders to really. I
know I'm a loser, guys. Sorry.
I mean, I didn't say it. But you said it. I mean, no, but I'm just kidding, man. No, like the thing is, yeah, guys, if everyone's just drafting on TitanX, then that's not good enough. We need to have people who are actively going out and trying to reach new communities. That's what I'm trying to do. Like, oh, by the way, here's your alpha for this stream. So I like to give someone alpha for every stream.
All right.
But I'm going on Corey Costa's Hex YouTube channel on Friday. So the idea is, like, we reach out, we go out to other communities, we explain to them our knowledge and why this is a good ecosystem, right? And that is how, along with green candle marketing, that's how we grow this thing. So other founders It's not enough to go into other creators' chats and just sort of shill your thing, right? Build your own chat and do the hard work, and that benefits everybody. So yeah, that's just what I wanted to mention there. Like, people need to get out and do marketing because we have so many apps now. We need users now. Now is the time for users.
Yes, you're right. And we're actually getting into that kind of next phase of this after the lull. I think the bull market might be, well, it's starting for TitanX before it's starting with the rest of the market, which is kind of nice. But anyways, okay, cool. Yeah. So yeah, a great point.
Oh, you want to talk about hybrid NFTs? I think that's a good subject.
You know what? Let's do that, because I saw you've been posting about the trading on OTC, and I want to see what where the OTC platforms are that that they're able to be traded on, and just yeah, let's just talk about the hybrids and what the future is for them.
Yeah. So for those of you that don't know, we implemented. Oh, here we go. Jake is mentioning something here.
Everyone reaches unique users.
Exactly.
Who they are and the value prop of what they build. Different marketing messages attract different people. Yeah, that's a great point, Jake. Absolutely. Like, who are you talking to? We're just talking to everybody. We're talking to nobody.
Exactly. Differentiated products hit different groups of people interested in different things, right? So a lending platform like Ouroboros hits something different than a meme coin, right? Or a gambling platform or a lottery or this, they all hit different groups of people.
Right.
But yeah, so hybrid. So basically, like, we saw the Bozo hybrid model on Solana, and we saw that it gives the option for a coin to be traded OTC. So what does that do for DragonX? It basically gives us the ability to have a lower liquidity, which lets us pump more when people come in and buy, while also giving people the ability to exit directly to Ethereum, not through TitanX. They can exit directly to Ethereum via the NFT markets. So what you do is you go into DragonX Hybrid. If you go to the dragonx.win and you click Hybrid, you'll see that there's a bunch of different classes of NFT. And what you can do, yeah, we can go there. That's a good idea. And we are redesigning this to be for new users. But depending on how much DragonX you have or how much you want to trade on the NFT markets, you can come in here and you can basically collateralize these NFTs with your own DragonX tokens. So you're not burning the tokens. You can pull them out at any time. You can convert it back into tokens. So what you do is you put your DragonX in here. Then you go to a market like OpenSea, and you can promote it, like if you have a Twitter account, and say, hey, or you can promote it to NFT communities, right? DragonX Hybrid's already on OpenSea. See, there it is.
Cool. There's
so
nothing
you can
sale.
see. I don't think anyone's actually. If you go listed, I don't think anyone's listing any right now.
Yeah, there's nothing for sale yet. There's no floor price because nobody's listed.
So that's the thing. Exactly. There was one listing. So I did an NFT OTC deal to get more DragonX. So someone actually posted it up and I bought it.
Cool.
So it works flawlessly. It's really cool. I didn't have to I didn't move the chart against myself at all. I got a nice chunk of DragonX and I didn't have to pump the chart, right, to hit my own bag. So it's a great way to exit. It's a great way to also just get liquidity directly to ETH. You don't.
Look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. These are really rare. Like, there's 7 of these.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4.
They're going to get very expensive. Very expensive too.
Yeah, I mean,
did anyone have? Are there any emperors left?
That's only like no. There's no emperors. Is there? No. There's. I don't know why this apprentice is at the bottom.
No, there's no emperors. Yeah, because it's very expensive. I wonder what the price of an emperor is right now. It's probably really expensive.
The emperor is 88
tens of thousands of dollars. 88 billion DragonX. What is that?
Let's
Price
go.
of
So
that?
let's do this. So I like to go to TitanX, and then we'll just go to buy TitanX. But before we do that, we'll go to DragonX and grab that code. Where's DragonX? Is it the vault? How do we find the price of DragonX here? Is it the vault price?
Yeah, that's the contract address. Yes.
All right, let's do that. And then we'll go here.
Awesome. Yep.
88
billion.
$229,000. Nice.
Amazing. Actually, let's go to see what the shotguns are, because we have people who actually own those things. You can see how much money they have.
8 billion.
These people are loaded. They're banked.
22K.
$20,000. $20,000. Yeah.
Let's look at the other
It's crazy in 110X. That's going to be worth. The Emperor is going to be worth 2 million on 110X. That's so cool. I love that.
Crazy. All right, so let's go over here and let's see what the 888 million. 880.
It's okay.
8 million. What is going on? Okay. 2,200. Nice. Check that out. And then what about the ninjas? 88 million.
That's going to be $200 bucks, right?
229 bucks. And then the 8.8 million is $22 for the apprentices right now.
So that's really good, right? You can basically do OTC at any level, you know? So it's more than just a pretty NFT. It's also a way to reach NFT communities. I did an NFT like a live stream to the NFT community, an NFT community about DragonX Hybrid. So it's another avenue for marketing, but it's also a really sick way to do OTC. People are going to be freaking out. I mean, at the value of these things, it's really cool.
But I mean, at some point, like with DragonX getting burned, you're going to run out of DragonX. like this is at some point they're not even going to be able to mint these anymore.
That's a good problem to have.
DragonX to mint.
Yep. Yeah, their scarcity will be extremely high. Like the people that have those NFTs now, I mean, that's already getting very expensive, right? So like another 10x and those things are going to be basically impossible to achieve for most people.
This is so cool. Yeah, 8.8 billion. I mean,
that just increases the rarity. As we get more users in, that just increases the rarity and the basically the premium that people might get, right, on those really difficult to generate NFTs.
Right. So
it's kind of a flex.
What you're saying is that there's possibly going to be an additional premium based upon the rarity of the NFT, because
Yes.
potentially above the DragonX price.
Right. And that may actually in turn drive people to create more of these, which removes DragonX supply from the market. And it's a virtuous cycle, right? Because then the Ethereum can pump the price more.
Right. This is kind of a potential arbitrage opportunity at some point.
And it creates that upward spiral because it reduces market supply.
Current supply of DragonX, we have 5.4 trillion, but you've already burned 1.3 trillion and there's no more ever getting produced. So,
right.
That's a lot of your. That's a lot of been burned.
20% of the entire supply is gone. It's like the Satoshi thing, right? Satoshi's wallets never moves. It's like that's what the original.
You know what's nice seeing these next.
Yeah, I like to think of it.
Look at that. There's like that with that next dropped 0. Boom. I don't know if you guys can see that, but go to the DragonX. Let me see if I can just enlarge this. Yeah, look at that. When you see these numbers together here, look at that TitanX. There's an extra 0. This DragonX dropped off a 0, which is so cool to see right here,
man. Yeah, it's amazing. It's just working really well, just as we wanted it to work. All the believers are heavily rewarded. I love it. There was so much FUD. It's hilarious. It'll never work out. The narrative will break once it goes below some price. Whatever, man. Those people.
We got a strong community, and you know
I've
what?
been in the game for a long time.
Strong. Jake's
people
strong.
had all these.
Yeah, definitely.
I've been in the game. I designed this thing based on what I knew, so I had a strong feeling it would work, and it did. So,
well, you were right, and I'm excited to see how it all plays out because I got a lot of hybrids, and this is fun. All right, and you know what? I was it's like when I was minting those hybrids, that was when the gas was like insane. Like I literally was paying like $20, $25 per hybrid to mint those things in ETH. I'm like, I'm just gritting my teeth and paying the fees because I'm like, I need to get into these hybrids. So anyways, don't follow my lead, guys, because I pay a lot in fees. But when I find something I like, you know, it's like, okay, why not? Let's do it. I like being involved in these projects with really smart people. So not financial advice, just what I do. Hey, Erik, let's talk about the DragonX vault a little bit because I don't know that people really I don't know that people are getting. I'm not even sure that I get the actual benefit of the vault because I saw some posts where you put out that that you know builders should be somehow sending TitanX to the vault, and like what does that mean? Like what is the vault and what does that mean? How does it benefit everybody?
Yeah, just to close out the hybrid thing with one more comment, and then I'll jump right into that. So because you are a creator and because you have an audience, you're the perfect person to be promoting NFTs when you want to cash out. And to be listing those things on OpenSea. And you could be the person that really drives the market there because you have an existing audience. So I'll just put that out there.
Cool.
But
I don't want to
for the vault. Yeah.
Yeah, I got you. Thank you.
For the vault. Yeah, of course. Basically, the idea behind the vault. So basically, at the beginning of DragonX, some of you guys were there, the OGs, and there was a mint phase. So the idea behind DragonX is that it's like a giant whale in the system. The idea was let's collect as much TitanX as we can, stake it for the max length, and get as much of the payouts as we can get. So how do you incentivize people to do that, to make that economic decision? You do that by giving them a token that will accrue value from that staking. So that was the initial kernel concept of DragonX. And in order to achieve that, we have a contract where if you send TitanX to that contract, then the DragonX vault will stake that at the maximum, and it will basically harvest as many rewards off of the staking pool as possible. So the benefit to people who are building is that you can do exactly what we're doing with this new protocol. You can basically, instead of simply burning the TitanX, which eliminates it from the market, send it to the DragonX vault, and you will not only burn TitanX, but you will also create a bigger buy and burn for DragonX to then act on the TitanX supply. If you take the additional step of bonding your token with DragonX, then not only do you get that, but you also get the price appreciation of DragonX. So you get all of these benefits by, instead of just doing a simple burn, you get all these benefits by putting the tokens into the DragonX vault. Does that help?
Yeah,
you understand,
yeah.
or
yeah, and in one sense, let's think about the opposite here. Let's think about if the DragonX vault wasn't there, like all that money would be going to people who would be selling it after they get their stake payouts. And then it's like, boom, they do whatever they want with it. But DragonX, this is one of the reasons I think that, the Genesis thing happened is because, man, all that is going back into the system. Like it's staked and it's like going back into the system in so many different ways. Like if that didn't happen, I mean, TitanX is strong in itself, but I think this is part of this. So what I'm hearing you say is that this is part of the actual supercharger. This is part of the nitrous oxide is the vault.
Exactly, because I looked at TitanX and I saw this inflation, and I was having PTSD from Hex, and I was like, man, we can build this awesome protocol on top, and it's like patching. It's like pushing a patch for the inflation bug, and that's kind of why, because I had that experience with Hex, that I could see that there was potential to harvest those rewards for something else.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
I think the system is more complete.
Because we make decisions based upon whatever's happening at the time, based upon all the factors in our lives and whatever, but the code makes the decisions based upon what you wrote. The code makes the decisions based upon what the code says. It doesn't have to like, oh, right now I'm in a good time, I'm gonna do this, or right now I have this opportunity, I'm gonna do this. No, the code's like, I do this because this is what I've been told to do. So yeah, that's nice.
Yep.
Awesome.
Yeah,
well,
so it's really exciting. Go ahead.
I was just saying, anything else about the vault?
No, I think that's the most important point. If you have a project and you haven't launched it and you're planning to burn, I highly recommend you switch over to the vault. It's been audited by 3 auditors, different auditing firms. 2 professional and one professional and then 2 private auditors, the same auditors as TitanX. It's been functioning perfectly for now 6 months. So it's a proven contract.
Rewards as builders in our wallet for the TitanX, or how does that work? Like, so say we send to so you're saying instead of send to the TitanX burn contract address, the other option would be to send to the vault when we burn TitanX. Okay.
Yep.
Cool. Sweet.
So yeah, it's very secure now and it's tested, so I think it's safe. I'm talking to a couple teams who are considering integrating into it now. So
all right,
it's bullish.
I want to kind of jump into now, and you can feel free to, if there's any things that we didn't address, that you can jump in. But I want to kind of talk a little bit about building on DragonX. And so I know that there's things that would benefit. What's that?
Can we remove that window?
Yes, sorry about that.
Just do face to face. Thanks.
Face to logo. Hey, when I launch my coin, I will be going on camera, but it's nice because I don't have to do my hair. I don't have to do anything. I just kind of like have my logo talk for me right now. But yeah, anyways. So okay, so I'm building on DragonX. I think that there's some things that we need to hear from you, because there's some ways to do it potentially that'll benefit the system, but there's also some potential ways to do it that may not totally benefit the system. So, I mean, can you talk about that?
Yeah, I think it's important, if you're going to build on DragonX, that it does more than just piggyback on the price appreciation of DragonX. Because if you do that, then you're simply diluting the buy pressure on what is the tip of the spear for TitanX. Like with DragonX, we're trying to build this DeFi ecosystem that can go off into these new communities, and it can bring buy pressure to DragonX into whatever we build, and by proxy burn TitanX and basically continue to perpetuate the system. So if what you're doing is effectively latching onto that with no additional utility, then you're just siphoning capital off the chart, off the DragonX chart, right? So that's not beneficial. So I would say don't launch meme coins on DragonX. I don't support it. I would say build utility into any project. Utilize the DragonX vault. I think it's a problem how many coins are being launched, and it's not just TitanX. TitanX is the exact opposite of this, actually, the builders. But in most of crypto, people just launch these tokens that don't do anything, And the whole idea of TitanX is like it's an ecosystem of contracts that can interoperate and can basically benefit the entire system. So if you're just launching a meme coin, you're really just diverting capital away from that flywheel. I mean, that obviously assumes that you're not doing any marketing, right? Potentially, you could bring in more people if you are really, really good at marketing and heavy on marketing. But for the most part, a lot of these memes, they're low effort endeavors that don't really accrue any additional value to TitanX. They mostly just spread the economic energy out. So what I would say is, if you're going to build on DragonX, don't blunt the spear. Build something that can be beneficial to DragonX. So I gave you an example in chat. I was giving you an example of a token, right? Another token you could do, and I tweeted about this, is have a true arbitrage token, except it's a one-way arb. And I mean, Jake is the master of DeFi, so maybe he can shoot me down on this in chat, like if he wants to post why it's not a good idea. But here's what I was thinking of a potential token. Will be pretty low effort. It's like you have a mint, an open mint, and it's bonded with DragonX. So when someone mints the token, it gets the appreciation of DragonX, but to get it, you need to mint DragonX. I mean, you need to mint with DragonX, and that DragonX is burned. So there's this arb game that you can play where you can burn DragonX for another token. And that contract would be open, so the DragonX supply would get burned into it if people could arb away the price difference. But at the same time, it's basically it's appreciating with DragonX because it's bonded. You know. So there's an idea. I mean, it's not like a little bit more effort than nothing, right? It's like.
So we wouldn't be using TitanX to mint this one. We would actually be using DragonX to mint this one potentially.
Yeah, the DragonX would be a burner, right? It would be burned. So it's a burner of DragonX.
What if you use TitanX and it bought DragonX and then burned DragonX in order to mint the coin?
Sure, you could do that. It's probably a little more gas intensive, but you could do that. Maybe you could. I mean, it depends on your technical ability, right? You can maybe do both.
And they do DragonX, right?
One or the other. What?
People have more TitanX than they do DragonX. So if we use TitanX as a liquid source and allowed someone to input that, and then it immediately bought and burned DragonX. And what if it actually bought and burned DragonX, but you actually, the rewards you got were a 1-to-1 to TitanX? Now you actually get a little bit more of a benefit up front because TitanX is a lower price than DragonX, but it's bonded with DragonX. And so people can come in with TitanX, get a 1-to-1 for that, immediately have a bump because it's bonded with DragonX instead of TitanX.
So you're saying burn TitanX to receive a DragonX equivalent token because it's DragonX bonded?
But to basically receive a DragonX equivalent token for the cost of one TitanX.
Yeah, but I mean, I like that. I was just thinking like maybe the problem with that is that you're not really eliminating any of the DragonX tokens, you know, because if you're gonna create an equivalent, then it would be nice to eliminate the supply of the original, you know, so that it's not just becoming this bloated sink for economic. Like, see what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to create another DragonX equivalent without burning DragonX, because then at least you've committed some economic energy from that.
In a situation like that, so say we input TitanX, it buys DragonX, and then would it burn all of the DragonX, or would it burn a portion of the DragonX that it bought?
I think you need to burn it all. Oh. And maybe you even have a small fee, so it's a little bit more of a. Yeah, I want to see a burner. I want to see a DragonX burn.
All right, like an Inferno on DragonX.
You could build something like Inferno. Inferno on DragonX would be cool. It's like basically just instead of, because Inferno burns a little bit of DragonX too, if I'm not mistaken. So that could go into the vault, and then you have a massive buy and burn, right? And that buy and burn goes through. But the thing about our this mining protocol that Jake and I are building is like it's actually, it has Inferno-like vibes because we don't have staking. So it does have a gigantic buy and burn. It's just the mining is a bit more delayed, so maybe it has more pumpage, you know. So maybe that's not even needed because this new protocol will basically be even lighter.
Because it's going to be mineable and still scarce. I mean, plus it would provide a potential. Yeah. So what do we have do you have is this too early to say, or do you have a date on that, or do you have a name for it, or we got any more information?
I can't give you anything firm.
Okay.
I'm open to name ideas.
Okay.
Um,
Is awesome.
yeah,
Hey guys, what do you think in the
he's pretty
chat?
good at naming stuff.
Well, who is?
He's pretty good at naming stuff.
Hmm.
But yeah, so it's probably not going to take more than like a month, I would say, to do it. What will be the main crypto to hodl? I'm a little bit partial to DragonX. In terms of TitanX ecosystem stuff, I would say DragonX. That's my 2 cents.
Yeah. Dracaris X. Yeah, so okay, awesome. Well, yeah, that's very, very cool. So so just I just wanted to bring up, there's ways to do it that'll benefit your system. There's ways to do it that won't benefit the system. And now not saying they won't benefit the whole TitanX ecosystem. So if you have another idea, well, maybe that's a more, a meme coin idea might be more paired with TitanX. So if you want to do a meme coin or something, go pair it with TitanX and do that, because TitanX is that base ecosystem. And then if you have some, but also, I like what you're saying too, because what's the point of doing something without any point? What's the point of doing something without any utility? Like, there's no point. Like, but maybe it's just price appreciation or something. If there's something that we could do with something, or something that is usable in some way, some kind of a utility, maybe. Yeah, I like a compounding system, because we all want to, grow our assets. So some compounding idea, which is what I like about Inferno, is because Inferno, I have been playing the game last few rounds, and I've compounded a bit, which is really, it's nice to see. It's like, I don't see interest anywhere else in my life unless you actively compound your money. So yeah.
Okay. And I would say, like, I don't think we're going to be able to stop the kind of person that launches a no name, like basically a faceless founder that launches a low effort meme coin. I don't think we're going to actually be able to convince them out of that. That's the kind of person that would launch that. But
people could do that, it's like, but is that the best thing to do if you're going to put your time and effort into something? I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe not.
No, I don't think so. And I think the community is really who I'm trying to educate here. Okay. Like, if you see that, I would just pass on it, and look for people who are really trying to bring more extra value. Like, is there a partnership we can do, right? Well, where is the TitanX partnership? I know I have some contacts at exchanges. I would like to have, and by the way, this is absolutely, like, I'm just saying this speculatively. I have nothing planned. But I do have some deep connections to some exchanges. And I think it would be really cool if our DeFi was integrated into some exchanges. Because I know, like, I've talked to some guys to, chill,
sorry,
bro.
Brother.
There's a delay.
Hey, man, I'm doing my best.
You're
right. Erik is a smart dude. He does good on solo streams, but sorry, buddy.
You're doing good, bro. No. What I was saying is, like, I have connections to exchanges, and I know some of these exchanges, they run DeFi products. Like, they have compounding products as part of the integration. Mm-hmm. So, like, maybe think about how you can increase your own bags without just launching a low effort coin. Like, I've seen a number of teams who would be a hell of a lot richer if they just decided that they were going to make DragonX their thing. And I know it's like, it's not my thing. I want to be a founder, but it's like, there's 1,500 people right now. Imagine being the first 1,500 people in Hex. It's better to have a smaller piece of a bigger pie than it is to have all of nothing. And I think this is what a lot of people miss.
Possibly, if you're gonna, I got you. So it's because it costs a lot. I mean, it's always an investment to do anything that you're going to do. If you're going to launch a valueless meme coin, it's still going to be an investment of some kind, time and money. And so it's like, is that time and money better spent launching a valueless meme coin, or is it better spent investing in a protocol, not financial advice, that has a potential of, you know, I think, now don't listen to me, guys. I'm just a faceless YouTuber, but I think we have, you know, potentially 1000X, maybe, you know, 100X. I don't know. I mean, any of those numbers are ridiculous. It doesn't even matter what, if it's 10,000X or 50,000, whatever. It's like anything over like a 10X is like, what? It's like amazing. So we're all kind of like, kind of programmed to want these 1000Xs in the system. But I really, that's why I personally kind of like the 10%, the 20%, when you can kind of compound at a 10 or a 20% or a 30% consistently. Sometimes for me, that's just, I mean, yeah, I'm down for 1000Xs. And I think that's what we might be getting with hybrids or with the DragonX coin in itself. But I think it's probably going to be more than that personally. Like I said, it could all nuke to zero, like Jake always says. But, you know, don't invest because of our advice, guys, but do your own research, but check out everything and read the white papers and, you know, go to the websites, listen to all these streams and, you know, do your own research. But man, I'm stoked. I've been in TitanX now since day 60. I wish I was in since day 1. I was in DragonX day 1, but, you know, I definitely minted. And then I got into hybrids day 1, but I love what you're doing, man. It's pretty remarkable, and it's showing it's all working.
Can I say another thing about building?
Definitely.
So about building, how many people do we have on right now? It'd be good if
353 people on the stream right now. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much for tuning in. Hey, if you guys haven't gone to go over here, let's just do this real quick. Go to at Team DragonX 888 on X. Make sure you're following them, and also go to at G1 Erik. Yes. Make sure you're following him, because on X, just because this is where you get all the alpha. And then when you go over here to DragonX, you can see the Telegram link here. So go over to Telegram if you guys want to do that. Join into the conversation. And don't forget TitanX Hub, but give both of those a follow. And also give me a follow here. Go ahead.
Yeah, if you look at my profile, I have that guitar, right? I don't know if you guys saw the tweet that accompanied that, but it was kind of I was going after Zen because basically my entire Zen bag got completely nuked. I was one of the top holders of Zen. So I basically went after Zen there, and the reason I did is because they just build and build and build. But it's not all about building. That's only 30%. I have an elite team of guys who are, it's like, would be very difficult for you to go from a standing start to have the team that Jake or I have, you know? So before you think about building another thing, just recognize that like Hex did a 10,000X and all it had built on it was Hedron. That's it.
Wow.
So we can go overboard on building. And I think honestly, like we have so many apps now, we have enough apps for 100,000 users, right? Like, so as a community, we need to just think, can I add more value by building something, especially if it's a low effort thing, or can I add more value by marketing what we have? Because Hex did a 10,000X because everyone rallied around one coin, 300,000 people. Think about that. And all that was substantially built on Hex was Hedron.
And it's not deflationary.
So build on TitanX is exactly. So build on TitanX is really good. It's very, very smart, and we needed it, and we need it. But you should think about it like, you know, at some point, there's diminishing returns on building. You need to invest in marketing, right? And we wouldn't be building this new protocol if we didn't plan on going out there and getting the word out about it, right? So as a community member, you can probably benefit the project more at this stage, unless you are, you know, unless you have serious guns. you can probably benefit the ecosystem more by going out there and telling people like the Hexicans did. You know, those people, I mean, Hexicans, we showed like crazy, man. I mean, we were talking about Hex whenever we got the chance. And that's how you grow.
You know, the green circle, I think, is part of that. So, you know, if you guys, you know, don't know what the green circle is, you probably already do. But if you're on this stream, the green circle is just an indication that that we're in the TitanX ecosystem. And you know what's funny about this? I didn't get the Zen thing. Is this so? This is a reference to Zen. I didn't really get that, but
yeah. So the tweet was actually.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Let me explain the tweet. So the tweet was, I don't know. Have you seen Mary Poppins?
Well, I mean, as a kid.
So there's the that guy who has like the instrument, and it's like a drum and a trumpet and an accordion and like tambourines and like 20 instruments all playing at once, and he walks down the street. Remember?
Yeah. Okay, I got you.
And so the tweet was like, it's what users want, and then there was a picture of a guy playing a classical guitar, right? And then there's what builders are giving you, right? And this was in reference to Zen and X1. And it was just like, it's like the supercalifragilisticexpialidocious instrument, you know?
Yeah.
And what we are is like, I feel like the DNA of DragonX is number go up technology and like Hex 2.0. And I'm not bashing Hex. Like I still probably own Hex more Hex than anyone else on this phone call. And Richard Hart's one of my like heroes in this space. So I'm still a Hexican, but like I built this to be number go up technology. I didn't build this to show off my tech stack, right? Mm-hmm. And so that's what users want. I really believe that, and that's kind of the ethos behind DragonX.
I want that, so thank you for that.
Yep.
So when I see this, so I it reminds me, and I commented, I don't know what you thought of my comment, but literally this reminds me of like a Wes Anderson movie. Like this whole profile right here, it's kind of like a Wes Anderson movie about crypto somehow. Like I could see this as kind of like the poster cover. But anyways.
Yeah, that's cool. A crazy time that picture was taken.
I love it. So that makes a lot of sense, though, you know, because sometimes, like, if we're trying to do it, and this is a big point you made when you actually launched your DragonX, is you're like, I'm doing it very specifically. I'm doing everything for a very specific reason. We don't need all these other things in there. We don't, you know, and I've been realizing, so I like to do a lot of things, but I've been learning what it means to like slow down in order to speed up in your life. And for me, slowing down in order to speed up didn't make any sense to me before. But when I start thinking about it now, what it really means is shedding everything that does not move you forward. And if you shed everything that doesn't move you forward and you're only operating with things that are moving you forward, now you just slowed down, but you also sped up. You got rid of the things that don't matter so you could actually speed up and focus on the things that do matter. And really in crypto, it is number go up technology. I mean, is what we're trying to all achieve here. And we want to take care of our families. And honestly, I think this is the future. Personally, I mean, we are early, but the whole world is going to be involved in crypto within the next, for sure, 10 years. Like within 10 years, like every single person on the planet is going to have a crypto wallet, and that's all they're going to be able to use to pay for things. And so, and that's my prediction, but it's like, for now we're early, and you are a builder, and we are all in on something, and we are a family. And that's what I really like about this too. It's not like there's this one crypto guy, I remember it was posted like crypto's a solo sport. Okay, but that's not true. In fact, that can't be true, because if crypto was a solo sport, then, like, you know what a solo sport is? Taking advantage and just siphoning a whole bunch of money off the top of a lot of these coins, being a really good trader. Okay, cool. That's a solo sport. But crypto is not a solo sport. The only way crypto works is if we build as a community, as a team, and work together. And so crypto is a community.
Yeah, I'm conflicted. So to talk about because you're going through a lot of concepts at once. But to talk about your slow to fast thing, I think that's something that in software development is definitely very, very widely understood. The idea of debt and technical debt is widely understood, and I've noticed that a lot of super high performing smart people, they do what you call polishing, where a lot of their time is spent on maintenance, maintaining their health, maintaining their existing projects, maintaining their relationships. They go back and they polish every day because they like, you can't just keep launching. You can't just keep doing new. You need to have a maintenance period, and like, you need to continue to maintain your body and your business and maintain what your current initiatives and polish those and spend time polishing every day before you think about new things. Because the reality is, like, volume, doing high volume is such a big part of success. Most people, and I'm guilty of this, they do this much and they're like, what's the next thing I need to do? Because I did this, now I'm going to do something else. But the reality is, like, you needed this much volume to get the total return and reward out of that thing, and you did this much. Now you're looking for novelty. So go back, and that's exactly the mentality that brought me back to start new initiatives on DragonX, because we have other initiatives. And I was talking to my CTO, and he was like, this is a big opportunity for us. And I was like, you know what, you're right. This is a really big opportunity to us. We need to get back into this and make DragonX huge, because it's as good as Hex. And so I think in your own life, just think about, like, what am I doing at 10% and ignoring everything I could be getting out of it if I did it at 100%, before you go on and try to start something new. So that's my point on that. And then what else did you mention? Something else after that.
I don't know. Sometimes I'm like Will Ferrell in Old School. I say stuff and I'll be talking, and then all of a sudden I was like, what did I say? What did I say? But that's a good point. You know, I actually did want to ask you. So you just mentioned initiatives. What are your initiatives with you and your team?
We have a couple of different irons in the fire. My dev team is insane. They work like crazy, and their output is super high quality. It's really amazing.
It is. We
have basically a game for the 000X ecosystem and for Pulse Chain.
Okay.
We have a big enterprise partnership that will be announced shortly, that we basically brokered for Pulse Chain, because I don't know how many Pulse Chain people are there. I don't know if people want to get into the weeds of that, but it's difficult. The Pulse Chain team is not really doing their part, in my opinion, but that's a whole nother story. But basically, we had to, like, basically broker this deal independently to get some infrastructure we needed for Pulse Chain done. But yeah, so that's that. And then, so there's this entire complicated game that's being built. It's very cutting edge for the 000X ecosystem. So there's that. There's DragonX, and there's one other thing which I don't talk about, because I don't want to harvest any economic energy from TitanX. So it's a totally distinct project.
Love it. So okay, we're going to kind of get to the end here, but I want to actually ask you to, in your opinion, for builders, what is good utility? What does it mean to have utility if you're building something?
That's exactly my point, actually. That is the exact point I was going to touch on. Actually, thank you for reminding me about that.
Sweet.
Yeah, so I am actually torn, because crypto is something of a zero-sum game, in the sense that, like, we're a community, but people are also trading against each other. And how you get around that is to bring new users in who get to basically experience and benefit from the system at a later stage. So it's great that we have all these apps that they can avail themselves of. But I'm always thinking about how you can draw more real value into an ecosystem, real economic energy. Economic energy that doesn't just derive from cycling it through the community. So I think that it's also the hardest thing to do, right? like it's very hard to find an additional source of basically revenue for TitanX or DragonX and connect it. But I think that there is opportunity there that is not being tapped. And I have some ideas. I think what we're building for SolidX is a good example of that. What industry is heavily into crypto that you can bring over that benefits TitanX, you know, or utilizes TitanX in some way, you know, and it needs to be a high profit industry, not something where you're like just taking tiny fees, like a wallet, because then you're just going to die like the Staker app died for Hex. So like what high profit endeavors could you engage in that would draw value into TitanX? I think that's like the biggest problems. The hardest problems are where all the value is. Like you can see that there's like a value range, and like the less effort, the more parasitic it is and the less beneficial it is to the whole system. So like a low effort meme coin where you have no profile picture and no marketing plan, and you basically come into other people's chats that they've built and like try to harvest economic energy from them, is like the bottom of the barrel.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have like connecting a business to TitanX, which is like the highest value thing you can do. So like that's the really hard thing, but that requires human resources skills, sales skills, you know, but there's potential there.
So that's
like I think it would be cool to have an exchange.
I am building a glamping retreat here in Tennessee, and I was saying, you know, whenever 000X gets launched, whatever, it's the best benefit of it. If people want to use it, actually, people can use TitanX to come stay. In fact, if they use TitanX to pay for the glamping retreat, I will actually give them a 50% discount on the stay. So, you know, we can actually do like bring things into the real world here, because I literally will be accepting any crypto people want to pay me to stay here. But I'm gonna focus on TitanX. But it's like also providing a utility somehow by, you're saying, bringing value into the system. Now, value is new users. Like economic value is new users, is what new contributors to the ecosystem. Is that's what you're really getting at, right?
So that's why marketing is so powerful, because you bring in new people and they can be builders. They can end up being builders. They can end up having businesses, or they can end up just being investors. I was thinking about it in a more direct way, but ultimately marketing is king. But yeah, a more direct way would be like, maybe I can get one of these exchanges to like integrate TitanX into it. And so like they'll manage the staking, right? They'll manage the mining. So the user doesn't really need to know about DeFi. There's all these people that are trapped on exchanges. Another example would be like, can we build a game like what we did for, and I think there's one in works. Can we build a game like that for TitanX? But then the question is like, are you just harvesting energy from TitanX users? Because what's cool about the game for SolidX is that there's an entire enterprise behind that that's going to bring in new users. And so we're the dev team for that. But
so you're not making a game just for the already used. You're not making a game that's only going to benefit, that's only going to be interesting to the users who are already using it. You have to make a game that's going to be interesting to other people besides the users, and possibly also the users of it already.
Yeah. Like, do we really want people who are holding, do I want DragonX holders to gamble away their DragonX? No.
Right.
But I accept that people like to gamble with crypto. So if I build a gambling app for them and they do what they were doing anyway, and that value accrues to DragonX or TitanX, then that's kind of a win-win. I mean, gambling in general is not a great habit, but we have to live in the real world, right? We have to accept that people are going to gamble. So
there's a fine line between investing and gambling when it comes to crypto. But I'm
extremely bored in crypto.
But you know, I think the best way for it to not be gambling and not financial advice is just to be read the white papers, you know, look at fair launch projects, make sure these founders are, at least coming on stream and showing their face and talking to you about their project and not going away and building the community. So yeah, I mean, those are kind of like the ways that we moved from gambler to investor in crypto, in my opinion. Not financial advice, is just be, as educated as possible. That's the only way to do it. I mean, yeah, obviously it's a risk. Everything's a risk. But okay,
Well, the
cool.
more utility and the more true utility and value you can bring, the less of a speculation it is and more of an investment it is.
Yes, definitely.
Like if you can say,
for sure.
Okay, I'm a gaming operator, but I'm also a big TitanX holder. Or I'm a gaming operator, or let's say I'm not a gaming operator, but I know gaming promoters. I'm going to find a team. I'm going to team up with my gaming promoters, and I'm going to build something on TitanX. But first, I'm going to take a big fat position in TitanX. Then you made an investment,
Yeah, right. Good point.
So,
good point. Absolutely. I like how you're thinking. Yeah. Well, hey, so what kind of advice, what's the final piece of advice you'd like to give the viewers? Because we have over 400 people on this stream right now. We have 412 people on the stream. Thank you guys so much for joining us. It's really, I really am just honored to have you guys, follow along on this journey with Crypto Awesome. But thanks for, obviously, we got the star here himself, Erik. And all you guys are going to want to probably rewatch this stream multiple times because Erik said some pretty revolutionary things here, guys, in a couple pockets. But yeah, what do you kind of want to leave people with here on the parting comments?
I think I've been pushing on the building stuff already a lot. I mean, maybe are we gonna do a Q&A? Because maybe that'll give a more direct.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's definitely do a Q&A. You guys got any questions? We do. I have some questions in here. I got one from Dazzle. We got Erik. Can you talk about DragonX longevity? Could be around 10 years. Could it be around 10 years like Bitcoin?
I honestly don't know. Like I don't. I like the deflationary aspect. I like the fact that there's less and less every year. I don't like that about Hex, that there's more and more every year, and we're supposed to believe that's a sort of value. I don't want to bash Hex too much, but like it's very manageable inflation with Hex. But like I just don't like. I like the deflation aspect, which means like, yeah, I could definitely hold its value. 10 years is a long time. I mean, I believe everyone needs to take profits before the bull market's over, right? I'm not saying like this is your life savings or 401k. All the crazy stuff that they told us in Hex, where we're locked in for 15 years. Like take profits, but I guess you just see how it develops. It's too early to tell. DragonX is so early. There's 1,600 users. It's really amazing. Like it took 20, I said in the early parts of the stream, it took 20,000 users for Hex to do its first 10x. We already did our first 10x with 1,600 users. Like we're doing better. We're doing better than that. Keep that in mind.
Yeah, you did 10x with 1,600 users. I know, bro.
Not financial advice.
It was blasted.
Expect it to fail. Only this was you can afford to lose.
It's been fun to see.
But I mean, that is pretty cool, right?
Very cool. Dazzle has another question. She's got some good questions in here. How secure is DragonX? If Bitcoin is impossible to hack / shut down, would ETH have to implode for DragonX to shut down?
So right now, all the revenue sources that accrue to DragonX accrue through the TitanX. Right. We basically, the DragonX's first basically income is the income from the TitanX miners. So the project is tightly bonded to the success of TitanX. And this next protocol, which introduces a new income stream for DragonX, effectively decentralized, is still very closely bonded to TitanX, because I imagine that only people who are quite educated about DeFi and TitanX will really participate. So if we could tie some other utility to DragonX. It was a little bit more decorrelated than I could say that it wasn't decorrelated to TitanX. But at this point, the DragonX project is dependent on the success of TitanX.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that's a negative, though. I think that if I can just go a little further on that, there was no backstop for Hex, right? But with TitanX, it's like an incubator. We have the support of the community. We have a backstop, right? If DragonX starts to stagnate, but the whole TitanX ecosystem keeps going up, then DragonX keeps going up, right? It can breathe new life into the project. So it's actually a big benefit to incubate your project into an existing ecosystem.
Yeah, and this is a great ecosystem. I mean, I was so excited up front. I wanted to kind of launch a project right when I got into TitanX. I'm glad I, just I'm letting things kind of sit and wait. You know what? The right idea will come when it comes, and it's got to be simple enough to be beneficial to everybody and not so complicated up front. So anyways, but for all you potential builders out there, I know there's a lot of people here that really want to build now in TitanX. I mean, I do too. And even a lot of us don't have coders and teams yet, but really it's all about benefiting people here. It's about benefiting everybody. So how many people can you benefit with what you do? That's going to be the goal, I think, of utility. Now we got a question from Ben. Any benefit of pairing DragonX with other TitanX pairs in the LP, like DragonX Helio or Blaze?
Yeah, before I said I want to mention the builder thing. So I know a lot of people want to build, but if it's your first run in crypto and you don't have a dev team and you've never launched anything before, you can help build DragonX. Come to DragonX and help me build it with marketing. Like, there's only 1,600 people in DragonX. You don't need to have your own 100-person coin. Like, this is what the Hexicans did right. This is what they did really, really right. Like, there was not a lot of economic dissipation. So if you want to build, I get that. But like, marketing is building. Marketing is 80% of the building.
Yeah.
And it's way more accessible. And then what was that question? I don't know. I don't think so. They're a bit separated. Like, if they were on the DragonX vault and they benefited from DragonX price appreciation more directly, then maybe. But I just don't see a point in creating like a DragonX Helios pair. One probably already exists, but I don't think it's really necessary.
Okay. I think that's really our questions for now.
Okay.
Yeah. What
guys? No more questions?
Go ahead.
I'm just surprised no one else has.
I know. Come on,
questions,
guys. What's going on? We got 440 people on this stream right now. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much for joining in. Hey, if you haven't done it already, make sure you go to X here. Go to @G1 Erik and make sure you're following him. You get some alpha there. Also go to @Team DragonX 888 on X and give them a follow if you haven't done that already. And then also, go to my page too, which is Crypto Awesomely, with an awesome and then an LY at the end there. Yeah, give me a follow too. But Erik, I mean, thank you so much for everything. Is TitanX Hub the community landing page for TitanX? Well, Ben, you know what? Basically, why? Because Mike Dean provided a crap ton of value for the community, and he continues to provide a crap ton of value. And he's actually doing it without launching a coin. So he's providing a ton of community value. He's a vetted individual. He loves this community, and he made TitanX Hub. So you know why it's the community landing page? Because the community uses it. I mean, I check TitanX Hub every single day, like probably multiple times a day, actually, right when I wake up, before I go to bed. It's like multiple times through the day. So yes, for me, it is. And if it's on TitanX Hub, now it doesn't mean it's vetted all the way, by the way. I mean, like these are different projects with different founders, and he gives you all the information you need to know to like, hey, it's all in one place. But everything that's on TitanX Hub is all bonded with TitanX. So that I think that's basically the requirement. But also I don't really know. You're gonna have to talk to Mike Dean about that. But he's creating so many amazing other things on here. There's a portfolio thing here now. So anyways, that's what I think. What do you think, Erik?
Yeah, I think it's definitely I would say the front page of TitanX.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
One thing I'll say, because I had a 1,000-person stream, and there were not a lot of comments. And one thing I'll say is, like, I don't know, guys, have you ever watched Jordan Peterson before?
Oh yeah.
Some of you are probably rolling your eyes, but like, he makes a good point, which is, like, the most powerful things you have are speaking, your ability to get up in front of people and communicate your ideas and your thoughts to the world, and to communicate that out and make it a reality in the minds of other people, right? That's actually the most powerful skill, is speaking and communicating. If you can read well and write, if you can speak well and write well, you have superpowers. And that's what Jordan Peterson says, and it is true. So if you're hiding behind a logo and you're not showing your face, then you're not you're helping, but you're just an anon. But like, you're not an anon, you're a person, and you have ideas, and you have more value that's like locked away. And you're afraid of showing yourself, but you have nothing to lose, most of you. So what you should do is, and I will follow you. If you put your real picture on your Twitter, I will follow you, and I will retweet your tweets. Because you guys should be, like, you're not going to get hunted down in like over a few $100s in crypto or whatever. Like, I'm not saying you have a few $100s, but like, there's just not a lot of risk for you, you know? But there's a huge upside for you, and there's a huge upside for TitanX and anything else you do in life to have an ecosystem. You know, a really rich, successful guy said to me, if you have no clout, you're basically a nobody. And it's harsh. And, you know, it's not something I would say myself, but it kind of like took me back. Like, this is how super top tier people think. They're like, if you don't have an audience, if you can't communicate your message out there, if you don't have clout, then you're nobody. And that's the world we live in now.
Yeah.
It's harsh, but that's the internet world. Obviously, a lot of you people are successful in your own lives, and that's absolutely fine and amazing. But like, if we're talking about promoting crypto, we're talking about promoting TitanX, it's better to be a real person. And a lot of you are probably a lot smarter than you think, and a lot more capable than you think in this realm of crypto. So I would say, if you put your profile picture out there, you're doing a benefit to yourself and to TitanX, because people will take you more seriously.
Mm-hmm. And good point.
So we can answer more of these questions
on this. There is a few more questions, but quickly, just on that note, what's up, everybody? Honestly, I don't. This is why I don't do this. Plus, you can see my house behind me. I'm building a glamping retreat, but this is kind of like a shed in here, so that's I don't have an actual.
And you're a handsome bastard. So there you go. Look at you with your salt and pepper beard, and you're trying to hide that. Come on, man.
Salt and pepper, baby. Absolutely. Yeah, I know. When I shave now, it really is like salt and pepper. All right, I'm gonna. That was my little nod to you. But and when I do launch my coin,
hey bro, you're a fucking G for doing that, man. You are a fucking G, man. That goes to show you, man. You are a Chad. Hell yeah, man. Seriously, respect.
Thanks, brother.
And bro, I'm telling you, people are gonna respect your channel more. Seriously, you're a handsome guy. You're like, you got a strong jaw and a pepper thing. You're a freaking very handsome guy.
Thanks, brother.
Hey, there you go, man.
Chad's awesome. Well, now I actually have to figure out what Chad means. So after this, I'm gonna be digging into what this Chad means. I'm gonna be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I didn't know that. Or maybe I already do know it and I didn't realize I know it. I don't know. I'm out of the loop on the Chad, but I won't be after this stream. So is there any plans to bring DragonX to base or optimism or anything?
Not really. The fees are pretty manageable right now on Ethereum. Actually, it's surprising.
They actually are.
Like,
you're right.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know why is anyone going anywhere else? All the values here, you know? I mean, let's just keep everything concentrated. Like, X did a 10,000X on ETH. One ticker, like one liquidity pool. Like, we're really at the point now where it's 90% marketing. Like, we just need more people. The products are really good.
Cool. Yes, absolutely. All right, let's ask your opinion on Titan Legends. Actually, what are your thoughts on Titan Legends, the hybrid token NFT project starting second phase? Because you were mentioning that it would be cool to have a hybrid on TitanX, which we actually are going to have one now. The Titan Legends, which was the first
Cool.
NFT project. So, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think that's a good idea, man. I think PC for TitanX would be great because it stops people from hitting the price, hitting the chart. The more sell pressure we can get off the chart and into OTC, the better. So great work. I'm excited for it.
Yeah, awesome. Looking for any other questions here. All right, we could.
Oh, and the other thing about the bravery aspect, yeah, the bravery aspect also comes into the chats. Like, if you have 1,000 people and you have 10 people asking questions,
yeah,
it's like we need to be more brave. We need to be a little more brave. Like, show your picture, subscribe, take the tiny step of subscribing. Like, in order to ask questions on my channel, you have to subscribe. So, like, go where it's uncomfortable. Subscribe, put a picture up, and ask good questions. That's huge. Because other people are thinking the same thing. Like, it's like grade school. You think your question is stupid, but actually everyone else is thinking it, So just say it.
Say it. Good point. So what's the best? Two more questions, Eric, and then we can kind of wrap it up. But what's the best marketing strategy on X, in your opinion?
The best marketing strategy is 3 to 4 tweets per week, threads that touch on a very specific topic, a super thread that basically addresses a topic in great depth, and to do that in a kind of long form fashion, right? So we're back to the good old days of marketing with listicles. I don't know if you remember listicles, but people used to write these stupid blog posts for SEO where it was just a bunch of listing items. Top 10 ways to do this, top 10 ways to do that. And they're absolutely nauseating. But unfortunately, people really connect with this type of content because they want the top 10 ways to do X, Y, Z, or they want the top 5 cryptos for the bull market, etc. So long form content posted 3 to 4 times a week. Comment, and then commenting on bigger accounts than you. So go out and try to punch up. Like, that's what I did with Zen. It's not because I hate Zen. I think actually Zen holders are at another level of pain tolerance. And the reason why I was attacking Zen is, well, first of all, because I got completely destroyed. But second, because it's a much bigger community. It's huge. Hundreds of thousands of people, right? So if I can punch up and I can bring those people in, then that's a win for TitanX, right? So I wasn't just ranting. I was also trying to harvest users. So those are some strategies for you.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you. That's so great. Hopefully you got Gordon. Hopefully you got some value out of that answer, because I did personally. And let's just end on this one here. Because we are trying to attract new people into this ecosystem. So what Ben wants to know, what do we tell new people where to begin without being overwhelmed? It'll be cool to have one place to learn about the ecosystem. I do think TitanX Hub is a good place to start, Ben. But that'll get you all the white papers. It'll get you all the actual legit links. So you're not going to the wrong links and stuff like that. But what do you think? How do we tell people, new people, where to begin without being overwhelmed, Erik?
It's a really good question. It's a really good question. Maybe the Telegram chat, TitanX.
Okay.
But if they're not on Telegram, it can be difficult.
Mm-hmm.
I think on the TitanX, is it Jake's YouTube? There is a video, an instructional video, an explainer video about TitanX. It's like a 10-minute video
in
or
the
something.
white paper. So if you guys go to the TitanX white paper, there is a link at the bottom. There's a video link at the bottom with Jake basically explaining TitanX. And actually, that's a really good place to start. Good call, Erik, because I watched that. Like that's actually, he runs through the whole white paper. And if you watch that video and you're not interested, TitanX isn't for you. But if you watch that video and you're like, whoa, then maybe you should look into it deeper, because that's what happened to me. I was like, whoa, dude, that's awesome. Yeah. And good point, Weaponhead.
Yeah, we need it for DragonX.
What's that? Go ahead.
We need it for DragonX. So
a video? You mean?
Yeah.
Do we have one?
Yeah.
Oh, where is that?
No. We have the teaser trailer, but we don't have anything that's like, what is DragonX? And it's like a 3-minute, explainer video. It'd be nice to have that.
We could actually do a video on going through the white paper on what is DragonX. Really, it's like a very simple white paper video, but really, DragonX is very simple overall. It's just the hybrids added a bit of additional functionality, but yeah, DragonX is very simple. So
especially for new people, it's just buy and hold play. It's buy and hold play. So
buy and hold play, right? You really get in. Not financial advice, because when you really are looking at the TitanX hub here, it's guys, we're doing like great, crazy good. DragonX 5026. TitanX is even doing super strong 6041. But I mean, that's a big discrepancy. And then baby DragonX, which is paired with DragonX, guys, 5046, which is actually twice as much as DragonX, which is crazy. This is insane, guys. So these pairings and these flywheels, they're all working. So I think really,
I want to see them. I want to see them.
You bring new people in.
I want to see baby DragonX. I want to see baby DragonX build more utility.
What does that look like?
And I hope people who are I don't know. I can talk to James about it, but I want more utility there, because they're bonded with DragonX. I want to see them continue to support DragonX. Because we don't want really to divert a lot of buying pressure from the DragonX token. So baby DragonX holders need to before they go ahead and shill that, need to ask the founders, what is the plan?
Yep. Cool. Well, hey, Erik, you're a rock star, man. We got 511 people on this stream right now. Thank you guys so much for joining in. If you're just tuning in right now, make sure you go back and watch the whole stream, because it's really good. Give me a follow at Crypto Awesomely, but also go to X at Team Dragon X 888. Give that a follow, and also Erik at G1 Erik on X, so you can get all the amazing alpha that is everything that we are doing here. So, well, hey, Erik, thanks so much, man. Thank you everybody for joining. Any last words for everybody?
No, I think we covered everything. Thank you guys for taking the time. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. All right. Well, Erik, stay on for a second. And until next time, my name's Dave. Crypto Awesome out.